Jordan, for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Director, was Agent Peter Strzok the former deputy head of counterintelligence at the FBI?
I don't remember his exact title, but I believe that's correct.
And he's the same Peter Strzok who was a key player in the Clinton investigation, the same Peter Strzok who interviewed Cheryl Mills, Huma Abedin, participated in the Clinton, Secretary Clinton's interview. And he's also the same Peter Strzok who now we know changed Director Comey's exoneration letter, changed the term gross negligence, which is a crime, to extreme carelessness. Is that the same guy?
Well, Congressman, I don't know every step that the individual you mentioned was involved in, but certainly I know that he was heavily involved in the Clinton investigation.
Thank you. And is this the same Peter Strzok who helped?
Which one?
Was a key player in the Russian
Probably
investigation?
all of them put together, all the way back to Freemason Albert Pike.
Mueller's team, Special Counsel Bob Mueller's team.
I certainly know that he was working on the special counsel's investigation. Whether or not he would be characterized as a key player on that investigation, that's really not for me to say.
And the same Peter Strzok that we learned this past weekend was removed from the special counsel team because he exchanged text messages with a colleague at the FBI that displayed a pro-Clinton bias. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Talk about the same guy. Okay.
Yes.
Well, here's what I'm not getting. Peter Strzok is selected to be on Mueller's team after all this history, put on Mueller's team, and then he's removed for some pro-Clinton text messages. I mean, there are all kinds of people on Mueller's team who are pro-Clinton. There's been all kinds of stories. PolitiFact reported 96% of the top lawyers' contributions went to Clinton or Obama. But Peter Strzok, the guy who ran the Clinton investigation, interviewed Mills, Abedin, interviewed Secretary Clinton, changed gross negligence a crime to the term extreme carelessness, who ran the Russian investigation, who interviewed Mike Flynn, gets put on Mueller's team, and then he gets kicked off for a text message that's anti-Trump. If he kicked everybody off Mueller's team who was anti-Trump, I don't think there'd be anybody left. So there's got to be something more here. It can't just be some text messages that show a pro-Clinton, anti-Trump bias. There's got to be something more. And I'm trying to figure out what it is. But my hunch is it has something to do with the dossier. Director, did Peter Strzok help produce and present the application to the FISA court to secure a warrant to spy on Americans associated with the Trump campaign?
Congressman, I'm not prepared to discuss anything about a FISA process in this setting.
We're not talking about what happened in the court. We're talking about what the FBI took to the court, the application.
This is a plan go all the way across.
Was he involved in taking that to the court?
Our secret
I'm not going to
society,
discuss
CIA,
anything to do with the
FBI
FISA court
terrorists,
applications.
the TBI, the terrorists of America
We've all
Bureau.
been made aware of this in the last few weeks. Let's remember a couple things about the dossier. The Democrat National
and
Committee
even
campaign,
with Lloyd
which we
Austin
now know were one and the same, paid the law
talking about
firm
military,
who paid Fusion GPS, who paid Christopher Steele, who then paid Russians to put together a report that we call a dossier full of all kinds of fake news, National Enquirer garbage. And it's been reported that this dossier was all dressed up by the FBI, taken to the FISA court, and presented as a legitimate intelligence document that it became the basis for granting a warrant to spy on Americans.
That's what happened.
And I'm wondering, I'm wondering if that actually took place. It sure looks like it did. And the easiest way to clear it up is for you guys to tell us what was in that application and who took it there.
Congressman, our staffs have been having extensive interaction with both intelligence
Listen to
committees
the
and
lion.
our interaction
He's
with the
lying.
FISA court, and I think that's the appropriate
Listen to
setting
him.
for
Listen
those
to him. He's
questions.
lying his
Here's what I
ass.
think, Director Wray.
Watch Jim Jordan get him. Watch Jim Jordan get him.
Head of counterintelligence at the FBI. Peter Strzok, the guy who ran the Clinton investigation, did all the interviews. Peter Strzok, the guy who was running the Russian investigation at the FBI. Peter Strzok, Mr. Super Agent at the FBI. I think he's the guy who took the application to the FISA court. And if that happened, I mean, think if this happened, if you had the FBI working with a campaign, the Democrats' campaign, taking opposition research, dressing it all up and turning it into an intelligence document and taking it to the FISA court so they could spy on the other campaign. If that happened, that is as wrong as it gets. And you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. You could clear it all up. You could clear it all up for all of us here, all the Congress who wants to know, and frankly, all of America who wants to know. You could clear it all up by release. We sent you a letter 2 days ago. Just release the application. Tell us what was in there.
Ain't gonna clear up
Tell
none
us
of
if I'm
that
wrong.
ignorant
I don't think I
bastard.
am. I
How
think
the hell
that's
is that
exactly what
ignorant
happened. And
bastard
if it
gonna
did,
clear
it is
some
as
shit
wrong
up?
as it can be, and
Jim
people who
Jordan
did
got
that
him.
need to be held accountable.
They doing this shit as an elaborate plan all
Congressman,
the
we
way
will not
around the
hesitate to
board.
hold people accountable
And
after
just
there has
at the
been an
border,
appropriate
Black
investigation,
Lives Matter
independent and
too.
objective, by the Inspector General into the handling of the prior matter. And based on
Fucking
that, I
facts.
will look at all available remedies, depending on what the facts are when they are found. As to the access to the
That's what's up.
dossier, that's something that is subject of ongoing discussion between my staff and the various intelligence committees.
There's nothing prohibiting you, Director. Is there anything prohibiting you from showing this committee what was presented to the FISA court?
Yeah, he's
the
shitty.
application you all put together at the
That's
FBI
fine.
that was presented to the FISA
How
court.
the
Is
hell
there
he gonna
anything
show?
preventing you from showing us that?
Yeah,
Time the
he,
gentleman has expired. The director
yeah,
can
that you know what
respond.
the hell to stop him from
I
showing
do
that?
not
He's
believe that I can
shitty.
legally and appropriately
Look at him
share
laughing.
a
Look at him
FISA
laughing.
court
Yeah, fuck
submission
y'all
with this
niggas
committee.
over now.
We're talking about what the FBI put together, not what the court had. What you took there. What
Jim
was
Jordan,
the
ring
process
it,
put together? What you
ring
presented,
it.
what you took to the court.
When I sign FISA applications, which I have to do almost every day of the week, they are all covered with a classified information cover. So that's part of why
Director,
we
is
would
it
not be
likely that
discussing
Peter
it here.
Strzok? Is it likely that Peter Strzok
Gentlemen,
played a part in the
gentlemen,
application presented to the FISA
Woo!
court?
the gentleman's time has expired. However, I do want to follow up on your last response to the gentleman. This committee, the House Judiciary Committee, has primary jurisdiction over the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. So any request
Look
for
at this shit.
documents coming to any part of the
Look at
Congress
this shit.
should include the House Judiciary Committee.
Oh
And
my.
if it
Whoa.
is classified in any way, shape, or form, it can be provided to us in a
Hey.
classified setting. But that is information that we are very much interested in
Mr.
and
Chairman,
very much want to receive.
just a question to the chairman. Yeah, I don't think there's anything prohibiting the FBI from giving us what they used to put together what was taken to the FISA court. That's what we're asking for, and there is nothing prohibiting him from doing that.
I don't think there is.
That's
either.
right. That's right. That's right.
Time of the gentleman has expired, however. Do you care to respond to that, Director Ray?
No, I think I've covered it.
Listen, look at him smiling. Look at
chair
yeah.
recognizes the
Y'all
gentleman from
fuck you
Georgia,
over.
Mr. Johnson,
I'm
for
about to
5
fuck this
minutes.
whole
Thank
country
you,
over. Y'all about to be my slave.
Director
With my
Ray,
lead head
you've led a
ass.
distinguished career as an assistant U.S. attorney.
Now watch
in the
this
Northern
brother. Watch this
District of
brother.
Georgia, Atlanta.
Watch this
Homeboys
brother
on
wreck him.
that
Watch this
part.
brother wreck him.
Justice
Watch this brother
Department
wreck him.
Associate Deputy Attorney General, even serving as an Assistant Attorney General heading up the criminal division of the entire Justice Department, and then as a litigation partner at the international and premier law firm of King and Spalding. You headed up the Special Matters and Government Investigations Practice Group, which involved sophisticated government investigatory matters and involving your clients, and also
Killing
you even
people too.
represented Governor Christie during the Bridgegate scandal, successfully, I presume, at this point.
Showing people out of planes
So you've
and
had a
shit.
long career in criminal law and in matters involving
Terrorist group.
government.
FBI
I find
ain't
it
no
hard
more
to
than a
believe
terrorist
that you have
group
not pondered
that
the
was started by J.
question of
Edgar
whether or
Hoover
not a
in our
president
government.
can be guilty of obstruction of justice. You have pondered that question, have you not?
To be honest, it's really not something I pondered.
Look at
That is
laughing.
a
Look at laughing.
question that
Yeah, I don't care.
involves
They'll fuck you over.
complicated
They got
questions of
high.
separation
I
of
don't gotta
powers.
answer you over the
And I have,
Well, do
this
you?
committee won't be
That's what he's
shocked to
saying. That's what
learn
he's saying about his
quite a lot
I
on
don't
my
gotta
plate
answer your
as
ass.
it is. I don't have a whole lot of time to do a lot of pondering.
Let me just ask you the question: is it your belief that a sitting president can be guilty of obstructing justice?
That's a legal question that I haven't tried to evaluate.
All right, thank you, sir. Within the last few days, the House Intelligence Committee has requested documents from
He
you and
answered
other
one
government
question.
officials from the so-called Steele dossier. To date, you and other government officials have refused to comply with the production of these documents. Why have you failed to produce these documents?
We're having extensive interaction with multiple committees
lying.
about these issues. They
He's
involve
lying.
complicated questions, not just of classification. They also affect ongoing investigations, in particular the
He's
Special
lying.
Counsel's investigation. And in particular, in many instances, we are dealing with very, very dicey questions of
He's
sources and
lying.
methods, which is the lifeblood
He's lying.
of foreign intelligence and for our liaison relationships with our foreign partners.
He's lying.
Thank you.
This man just sat up
Director
there
Ray,
told.
earlier this year,
Wow.
the FBI opened an investigation into the vulnerabilities of the state of Georgia's election systems. Thereafter, Georgia citizens filed a lawsuit over the security or lack thereof of Georgia's election systems, which were then outsourced by Georgia's Secretary of State to the Center for Election Systems. 4 days after that lawsuit was filed, Georgia election officials wiped clean or deleted the election data on CES servers. 1 month later, 2 additional servers were wiped clean. So evidence
Oh, this sounds like Hillary
critical
Clinton
to the issues raised
and
in the
Ashton washing her
lawsuit,
emails.
and to the FBI investigation, perhaps, that information has been destroyed. Can you confirm that the FBI obtained copies of the data on Georgia's election servers prior to the data being destroyed by Georgia election officials?
Congressman, I can't discuss what the FBI may or
Lying
may not have
again.
obtained in the
Here we
course
go.
of any particular
This motherfucker's a
investigation
good
in this
liar
setting.
too. A
Can
real good
you
liar with his lead head ass. You see his head?
confirm that there is an ongoing investigation into this matter?
Again, I don't want to confirm
Lying
or
again.
deny. It's important that I put both those words
Look,
in
look,
there,
look, look at
the
grinning,
existence
grinning.
of a specific
I gotta ask
investigation.
you.
Would you be willing, upon your investigation's completion, if there is an investigation, would you be willing to provide this committee with an update on this issue?
If there is information that we could appropriately share on
He's
the
lying.
topic that you're answering about,
He's
I'd be
lying.
happy to see if there's something we can do to be helpful and responsive to the
He's
committee.
lying. He's
Thank you,
not
sir.
going to.
The Department of Justice recently admitted in court that they are treating the president's disturbing and combative tweets as, quote, official statements of the President of the United States, end quote. Considering the DOJ's position and the president repeatedly demanding that the FBI investigate his political opponents, do you consider these tweets to be orders that the FBI must follow?
That's a legal question, and I'll be guided by the lawyers on that one.
He's lying.
So have your lawyers given you an opinion as to whether or not the president's tweets are official statements?
Well, without discussing, attorney-client communications, I'm still following the ordinary course of business in terms of what orders we follow.
Sir, you've given me every objection for not answering the questions that is in the books, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I yield back.
The time.
Chào mọi người. Chào mừng mọi người quay trở
Well, so you tell me. You know what I mean? You tell me. You know what I'm saying? You tell me what you think on this matter that we have here. Let's back it up a little bit. You tell me what we have in this matter that you see is some garbage in itself. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one, it is garbage. These people or this individual, whatever his name is directly working with the Biden administration. You know what I'm saying? And the corrupted plans that they always had to destroy this country from within based on their religious cultic following or cultic bullshit they have had in our government for going all the way back to Albert Pike and many of these different people that have been calling themselves involving us in the government. The federal government was to never have this type of power over the states. And any state that don't join in on Greg Abbott and protecting our borders and who is already in this country that we must analyze and go through each one of them and find them, even if they run 6 million or whatever they are, 7 million, 100 million, because we know they love the 6 feet deep, 6 feet apart, I bury you 6 feet deep. You know what I'm saying? They're full of garbage. Why not 8 feet? Get the fuck out of here, you lying ass. Or in a cryptic too, you lying ass. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, They're not going to answer this gentleman. You know what I'm saying? He's not. He's a crook. So you think he's going to, this man here, whatever his name is with his bump head forehead, is going to answer this man's questions? Is he honestly going to do that? Look at him. He's a lying son of a bitch, and he's a part of the elaborate plan. You see the same tactic they use on Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? The same constitutional write-up or whatever is put into the Constitution to block the demon Democrats and the rebel Confederates from getting in our government and doing this garbage that we see them doing now. You know what I'm saying? Coming. See them do it now. You know what I mean? Is what we see. So they try to use that same set of laws on Donald Trump. This is why they had to create an insurrection. So this is Point Blank saying, I'll be back. Keep it right, keep it tight.